5-paragraph field order is a classic planning technique, which I think can be applied to just about every situation. Before I go into my own situation, let me add one piece. We introduced in the mid-'80s a thing called commander's intent to paragraph 3, execution. And prior to that, we didn't have commander's intent. It was just, here's execution, concept of operations, and the subordinate unit instructions, and so forth and so on. And we would detail and spell out in great detail exactly what we wanted somebody to do. And what we realized, I think, in the early '80s was that we were tying the hands of our subordinates. So we introduced this thing called commander's intent, which at the time, many people thought was kind of unique and different, when in fact it has been around a long, long time. In Germany, they call it Auftragtaktik, and it's been around since the 19th century. And the Germans mastered the ability to tell people what their original objective is, rather than how to get there. Here's my intent, because I know that when the first shot is fired, things will get very confusing, communications will break down, and I want to make sure that my team, my subordinates, understand where I'm trying to take this operation, what's the ultimate objective, so that when they lose the ability to talk to me directly and get guidance, they can proceed on their own because they understand ultimately what the objective is. And so commander's intent was introduced in the mid-'80s. It was very, very important that the commander, the person in charge, the CEO in civilian parlance, communicates to his or her team exactly what the objective is at the end state. So that when things go wrong, particularly in a large organization where communications is more complex and more brittle, that those that are on the front lines who have the ability to influence, the strategic sergeant, as we've learned in recent years, can shape the strategy for the entire nation. You know, one soldier, one sergeant, one leader on the front line making a decision to go left instead of right when his order said go right, but he saw that the situation had changed in a way that he understood what the ultimate objective was to get on the objective. So he decided, I can't go right like I was told, I need to go left. And he's authorized to make that decision. Now that comes with some risk, obviously, but then leaders need to allow risk-taking and not penalize subordinates for taking risks that are reasonable.